let's rehydrate one of my dehydrated sourdough starter packs. So since I've mailed out quite a few of these in the past couple weeks, and to show y'all how easy it is to rehydrate the sourdough starter. So first off, I wanted to say that it's so much easier to rehydrate an already established sourdough starter than to start your own from scratch. The reason being, if you start your own from scratch, it's going to take at least 4 weeks. I rehydrated this starter in 4 days. So if you want to start your sourdough journey as soon as possible, then this is the way to go. So I start out by putting a half of a tablespoon of the sourdough starter, followed by a full tablespoon of water. After you add the water, then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. In my instructions, I recommend using King Arthur flour and either distilled or purified water. After you get that mixed together, it's not going to look like very much. You don't need very much to get started because it will grow. So then 12 to 24 hours after your first feeding, you're going to feed it again. This time you're going to add 2 tablespoons of water and mix it together. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. At this point, your starter should have a thick pancake batter-like consistency. Add a little bit more flour or water if necessary. After you feed the second time, then you're going to wait another 12 to 24 hours to feed the third time. Your starter should become bubbly at either the third or the fourth feeding. So this is what your starter will look like after the third feeding. Then the next morning, I woke up and my starter was super bubbly and active, and this is what it looked like. So at this point, I just guessed about how much starter that I had in the jar, which was probably about a half a cup. So then I put in a cup of water and I whisked that together really good. I like to use a fork because it forms the bubbles in the watery mixture like you need, as you can see here. So then after I get that all whisked together, I add as much flour as I need. And that ended up being about a cup of flour, just to get that thick pancake batter consistency. After I fed this time, I just put a little mark on my jar. After this feeding, it should grow double and be to the top of my jar. So then I covered and waited to see how much it will grow. So I fed this starter around 10 a.m. and then this was my starter at 6 p.m. So as you can see, it doubled and it's super bubbly on top. So I went from dehydrated starter to active starter in 4 days. And now she's ready to make a loaf of bread.